Today we're talking about 3 ETFs that could actually hold their ground if a recession hits from a new round of tariffs. I'm not saying a recession is guaranteed, but if it does happen, having a plan to protect your money. This year alone, stock prices took a nosedive more than 20% down. The instinct for a lot of people, maybe even you and Alpha, is to hit the eject button, sell everything and go full cash. The thinking is, get out first, ask questions later, right? But here's the twist. What if staying in with the right investments is actually the smarter play? These 3 ETFs we're about to dive into aren't just safe havens during chaos. They're also solid tools for building long-term wealth. Today we'll get into 3 ETFs that are built to weather the storm. These aren't just random picks. One is designed to smooth out the wild swings of the market. Another is packed with consumer staples. And the last one? It's the king of utilities, dishing out nearly 3% in dividends while keeping things steady. By the end, you're going to be stacked with the kind of moves that turn chaos into opportunity. So what's all this talk about reciprocal tariffs, and why is everyone freaking out? Well, Trump just announced massive new tariffs on over 60 countries. We're talking 10%, 30%, even 145% on China. That's not just a tax. It's a straight-up gut punch to global trade. Prices go up, companies struggle, consumers get squeezed, and before you know it, we're staring down a global recession. The market's already reacting. The S&P's down over 20%, and investors are panicking. But here's the thing. While most people are running for cover, Alpha's got a different plan. Instead of jumping ship, he's jumping into ETFs, built to survive this kind of chaos. The kind that stays strong even when everything else is falling apart. Let's check out the first one. USMV, or the iShares MSCI USA Minimum Volatility ETF. Although the name sounds like something only a Wall Street robot could love, the strategy behind USMV is genius in its simplicity. It's built to target companies with historically low volatility. Translation? It loves stocks that don't panic, don't crash hard, and don't throw wild parties with investor money. Consider this guy your defensive tackle. He's the first one off the line when tariffs start sending shockwaves through the market. He's big, sturdy, and built to take the hit before it even reaches the rest of your portfolio. Exactly the kind of muscle you need up front when things get shaky. Because tariffs hit companies with fragile global supply chains the hardest. You see, if a business is too dependent on cheap imports, or if their margins are thinner than a TikTok influencer's attention span, tariffs will wreck them. But USMV? It is filled with the big, boring, cash-generating monsters that can shrug off higher costs like Berkshire Hathaway, T-Mobile, and Walmart. These aren't hype stocks, they're recession-ready titans. You have Berkshire that calmly prints money no matter what's happening. T-Mobile that keeps everyone connected, even during a crisis. And Walmart, the very one that becomes everyone's favorite store when budgets tighten. And here's the cherry on top for you. USMV isn't just about surviving, it's about rewarding patience. USMV offers a dividend yield of 1.49%. Now sure, that's not enough to buy you a Lambo by next Tuesday, but it is enough to provide some sweet, sweet passive income while avoiding the heart attack-inducing roller coaster rides of the broader market. And don't underestimate that dividend. In a tariff-fueled downturn, when growth stocks are crying and meme traders are holding hands in the dark, that little 1.49% dividend starts feeling like a warm hug from Grandma USMV. Up next, we've got 2 more tariff-proof ETFs coming your way, and trust me, they're just as sturdy, just as sneaky, and just as ready to keep your portfolio cool while the world melts down. VDC. Yeah, we've already got a solid defensive player in the mix, but let's be real. One guy can't take on the full weight of a recession alone. That's where a strong backup comes in. And Vanguard Consumer Staples ETF, or VDC for short, is exactly that. Think of it like the linebacker of the portfolio. Not flashy, not exciting, but built like the Costco of ETFs. Reliable, unshakable, and absolutely clutch when everything else is falling apart. See, the strategy behind VDC is so simple that it's almost disrespectful. Invest in stuff people have to buy, no matter what. Tariffs, inflation, recession, market crash, doesn't matter. People are still brushing their teeth, buying toilet paper, and drinking their third can of Coca-Cola for the day. VDC loads up on the kings and queens of consumer staples. We're talking Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Walmart, and Costco. These are the avengers of boring but necessary products. And that right there is why VDC is a tariff-proof monster. Tariffs usually hit companies that want to sell you something but don't have pricing power. Tech gadgets, luxury items, cheap imported goods, the kind of stuff people can live without when things get tight. But since nobody is canceling toothpaste anytime soon, you and Alpha are good to go. Now, want to know what really sealed it for you? VDC throws off a 2.22% dividend yield. Now that is what you care about. Passive income rolling in while the world argues about tariffs on TikTok. Looks like your ETF team is shaping up pretty nicely. Solid defense, smart plays, and all the right moves. But what if the recession pulls a trick play and those tariffs sneak through your line? That's exactly why you need this next guy. XLU. Now, this is the Utility Select Sector SPDR Fund. Sounds like a mouthful, but don't let the name fool you. This is your strong safety, the clutch player who steps in when everything else starts breaking down. What's in it? Basically a portfolio powered by your electric bill. Yeah, utilities. The stuff people never stop paying for, no matter what the economy's doing. Recession, tariffs, inflation, doesn't matter. Lights still gotta stay on. While other ETFs are betting on fancy growth stocks or global supply chains that could snap during a trade war, XLU is sitting there, collecting payments from every person who wants to turn on their lights, charge their phone, or flush their toilet. Now, XLU isn't just a bunch of random utility stocks. It's packed with some serious blue-chip muscle. At the top, you've got Duke Energy, one of the biggest power providers in the US, quietly keeping the lights on for millions while dishing out steady dividends like clockwork. Then there's Constellation Energy, a major player in the clean energy game and the go-to name for nuclear and renewables. Yeah, the kind of stuff that keeps your fridge cold even during an economic meltdown. Making its top 3 holdings is also American Electric Power, a company so reliable it might as well be the thermostat of your portfolio. So here's the cold, hard truth that you'd love to hear. Tariffs, recessions, inflation. None of that matters to XLU because nobody cancels their power bill. Utilities are essential, and essential means recession-proof. And oh, that dividend. XLU doesn't just sit there looking pretty. It pays. With a dividend yield of 2.98%, Alpha has secured real cash flow. And in a world where stock prices are flopping around like a fish out of water thanks to the tariff bazooka, XLU just keeps doing its thing. There you have it, the ultimate recession-proof portfolio. The team of USMV, VDC, and XLU will not only help you defend your money and get through the storm, but also give you a chance to build long-term wealth. So we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know which ETFs you're holding in your portfolio. Got a favorite? Let's talk about it. We'll dive into your suggestions. In the meantime, check out these other great investment ideas. We've got something for everyone.